What's going on? I'm Larry Hoover Jr. and I'm rocking with Street Certified News.
Oh, it is your boy Kiss, man. Shout out to Street Certified News.
Yo, it's your boy L Hitter, Mr. Oh Yeah. Y'all already know what it is, man. I'm rocking with Street Certified News. We got behind the scenes, man. We finna tie this bitch up.
What up, it's your boy Bum J. We rocking with Street Certified News. ASAC Great.
Yo. It's your boy Michelle Guapo, man. Street Certified News. And we back with another one. Man, if you guys could like, comment, subscribe to the channel, man. Share the video. We did our due diligence with this video. About a year ago, we were surprised that we were one of the first outlets that exposed the paperwork on Fidel Suarez. He was a truck driver and former cellmate of Big Meech, Demetrius Flannery, when they were locked up in the county jail in Michigan. And I thought that his case was interesting because he left jail, he was hooked up with some BMF associates, and the whole gang got took down on a federal indictment. A number of people felt that Big Meech, along with his former assistant, Tammy Cowins, set everybody up. For years since, like I said, we dropped the story last year, but this has been something that's kind of been floating around for a few years now. We dropped the story last year. A lot of people disagreed with us, but we stood strong. We knew we had the paperwork. We knew it had his name in it. They claimed that he was part of a drug conspiracy, yet everyone was arrested except for Meech. In fact, Meech got time taken off, which, as you see in the title, we're going to get to it, but we were able to find a downward departure on the boy Big Meech, man. So, hey, let's just get right to it, man. This is going to be a longer video. Like I said, we did our due diligence. But this week's story, man, Big Meech exposed, man, 5K1, downward departure. It leaked. It may have something to do with this feud he got going on with 50 Cent. Either way, we thought, now that this new news is coming out, that we would just dig a little bit deeper and give you guys a little bit more information about the entire story. Like 50 said, man, who is Tammy Cowins and all of this stuff. We thought we put it together for you guys, in a documentary form. Hey, like I said, man, please like, comment, subscribe on the video, man. This is a very important video. We're hoping that we set the record straight on both sides, man. There's a lot of people on both sides of the fence, and we just trying to set the record straight for you guys. Again, this week's story, man. Big Meech exposed, man. 5K1 downward departure on his 30-year sentence, and most likely it had to do with the cooperation of his former assistant, Tammy Cowins, against a number of BMF associates, man. Hey, let's get right into it.
Founded in 1985 in Southwest Detroit by brothers Demetrius Edward Flannery and Terry Lee Flannery, the BMF organization, also called Black Mafia Family, ran as a well-oiled machine for over 20 years before being taken down by the federal government in 2005. Older brother Demetrius, aka Big Meech, while on the run for a parole violation in 1996, will relocate BMF to Atlanta, Georgia, in hopes of a fresh start in the drug business, leaving behind his younger brother Terry to continue running operations in Detroit and later in St. Louis and Los Angeles. While in Atlanta, Meech will become enamored with the urban nightlife, spending most of his time partying and in strip clubs when he wasn't conducting drug business. While in these establishments, Meech will make his name known as a top patron, garnering attention from those who wondered who was BMF and who was this super rich guy always throwing money. This is how the legend of BMF and Big Meech was born. That story has been told numerous times now through books, documentaries, and even a hit TV series from 50 Cent. However, left out of those stories is a woman who will become the most important person to the BMF legacy. Around 2002, during the height of the BMF organization, Demetrius Flannery would become friends with a woman by the name of Tammy Cowins. Those documentaries and TV shows have told the story of how BMF eventually would be taken down by the federal government in 2005, and how Meech and Terry would begin their new lives in the federal prison system on 30-year bids. But this story is what happened after the takedown, and how Big Meech was able to come home with the help of Tammy Cowins almost a decade early on a downward departure.
That first part of the video, like we stated, man, it's been a number of outlets, it's been a number of books, documentaries, the TV series. A number of people have outlined the rise of BMF or the fall of BMF or their original indictment in 2005, even up into 2007 when they did a second round of BMF indictments. This video is not about none of that. So this video is mainly about what happened with Meech once he was locked into that 30-year sentence, and it seems to begin around 2008, 2009.
In 2007, only 2 years after the initial BMF takedown, the federal government began to prosecute additional cases against the second round of BMF associates. By this time, and now his personal assistant, Tammy Cowins was secured power of attorney over the life rights of Demetrius Flannery. In contact with Meech daily, the goal of the agreement was to sell Meech's name rights to the highest bidder, looking to make a movie about his life. Only 2 years since their takedown, the entire BMF story had become larger than life. A $270 million drug empire, only surpassed at the time by the Italian mafia. Many hip-hop fans, as well as much of the general public, looked at Big Meech as an underground hero. Although we do not know if Tammy would play a part in the 2007 BMF indictments, she would later testify that she began working for the DEA formally around 2009 on the case of a former Atlanta drug kingpin who was then free, Terry White, ultimately being paid over $55,000 for that case once White was convicted and sentenced to 8 years. Suspiciously, when Tammy would later be cross-examined during a hearing of DEA misconduct, she admitted that before she became a DEA informant, she had never been arrested, indicted, or even connected to any drug cases. She simply one day claimed she walked into Atlanta DEA offices offering her services, with the first case being BMF's early competition in Atlanta.
Me and you broke down Big Meech paperwork before everybody else last year. The trucking company was supposed to bring the product to St. Louis. In between all of that, and remember, Big Meech set all this up. In between all of that, a confidential informant was part of that play. Let him do the deal, let him take the shit to St. Louis, let him use his trucks. The feds came and got everybody. We broke down paperwork that had Big Meech's name in it. He was an unindicted co-conspirator in this case. They said in the paperwork that he was part of the conspiracy, yet he wasn't arrested. Matter of fact, they cut time off his sentence. A lot of people was mad at us when we did that video, bro.
To be honest with you, man, it's I felt good in a sense, and then I felt bad in a sense, like damn, another black man down, another hood hero down type thing. And then again, I felt good because I'm like, damn, we actually put out some information that was pretty much accurate. And of course, people don't roll with the first one they see. It's typically the biggest one they see. So in a sense, it's like I can still take the dub for what it is. And
right. So people waited for 50 to say it before they start running with it.
Yep. Which in turn make you question 50.
By late 2011, and having helped the DEA on the White case back in 2009, CS1 Tammy Cowins would still be technically on the payroll of the DEA and Big Meech at the same time. It would also be around this time that former cellmate of Demetrius Flannery, Fidel Suarez, will reach out to Tammy after his release from a Michigan prison. By 2011, friends, associates, and even celebrities knew how to get in contact with Meech by first getting in contact with Tammy. not knowing that a DEA agent was her boyfriend. A number of Meech's friends would occasionally call Tammy to ask how he was doing, including one of Meech's close friends from St. Louis, Dionne Gatling, aka Cuffy. Soon after Tammy began speaking on the phone with both Gatling and Suarez, she would testify that the content of the conversations changed the drug business. Gatling, whom she had never met, made a personal trip to Atlanta just to meet her. Simultaneously, Suarez would call Tammy saying that Buddy told me to get Cuff's number. Buddy being Big Meech himself. Once Tammy had met Gatling and given Suarez his info, she claims that she did not hear back from the pair until June 2012, when Suarez informed Tammy that he planned to make a business trip to St. Louis and asked if she would meet him there, for which she declined. On August 5th, 2012, however, Fidel Suarez would make that trip to St. Louis and soon called Tammy upset. Fidel claimed he was in St. Louis with a truck full of product and Gatling was a no-show to their pickup. Eventually, when Gatling did get in contact with Suarez, he did not bring all the money, leaving a balance that Suarez thought Tammy would pick up. Relaying this information directly to her then boyfriend and federal agent Keith Cromer, the Atlanta DEA would put Tammy in direct contact with their agents in St. Louis, resulting in the 2012 through 2014 investigation of drug trafficking between Demetrius Flannery, Fidel Suarez, and Dionne Gatling. Once certain facts were made public, lawyers for Gatling would call into question the legality of Tammy Cowins, aka Confidential Source 1, and her DEA agent's relationship, prompting the Franks hearing in 2016, where Tammy for the first time would have to testify in open court about Big Meech and her cooperation for his early release. In 2018, federal wiretaps would catch additional St. Louis BMF members attempting to continue Cuffy's operation in his absence. Their prosecution would mark the final case attributed to Tammy Cowins' cooperation on behalf of Demetrius Flannery. Not coincidentally, only months later, on March 15th, 2019, Demetrius Big Meech Flannery would be granted a 5K1 downward departure from his original 30-year sentence, cutting his original time by almost a third. The rumors of cooperation almost began instantly and have continued for the past 5 years, including statements made by both Terry White and Dionne Gatling calling Meech out for setting them up. Maintaining our own transparency, we also at Street Certified News produced a paperwork breakdown in early 2024 of Suarez's initial indictment, naming Big Meech directly as an unindicted co-conspirator. And in late 2024, almost 4 years after the early release of his brother Terry due to health complications and the COVID-19 pandemic, Big Meech was released from federal prison after only serving 19 years. Many in the streets were both stunned and excited. Amid the rumors of cooperation, there was still a heavy debate if Meech was aware of Tammy working with the feds back in 2012. Up until this story, the streets were still undecided on if Big Meech was a snitch. However, with statements from Cuffy himself, Terry White, and now proof of Flannery's downward departure, hopefully we've just set the record straight.
Something happened. I feel like something happened with Meech and 50 first. And nobody's talking about that. But something happened with the new season, or is the new season coming? I feel like something happened with like
Ross. Right.
Something happened with the Meech and 50 shit. I feel like that's what made Meech even say, all right, Ross, come fuck with me. You know what I mean? Because I mean, unless the nigga just brain dead and he don't know that 50 hate Ross. I'm thinking that there was a discrepancy with seasons or payment or something, and Meech needed some bread. So he got people like Ross and all these a lot of Detroit rappers went down to Miami and hollered at him. And the dude Rick Ross pulled up, gave him some bread. He promoted Ross's car show that's coming up, and they did a little business. The shit made 50 go crazy. You know what I'm saying? 50 got to calling him a rat.
50 got the just going crazy, talking about who is Tammy Cowins, and he was doing a lot of innuendo shit. And that's really why we making this video, because like we don't want the innuendo. We just want to break it down for what it is.
But me personally, man, I really, I'm one of the biggest fans of 50 Cent, his story and everything. But part of me feels like, part of me, all of me feels like he knew about it. But 50 being a master chess player, art of 48 laws of power, he took it upon himself to wait till the right time to go out. So when you see Meech, probably don't know how 50 is because he's been locked up. But to know that you standing next to an enemy of his, it was bound to come. And when it came tenfold. And I'm pretty certain Meech did not expect 50 to call him a rat. That was probably the last person he expected to call him a rat. And with the fact of 50 having direct contact with Tammy Cowins, and that being the person that owns his life rights, she got all the info 50 need. Yeah. So now him sitting there acting like, I ain't gonna say he acting like, because he ain't really addressed it if he knew or not. But for him to come out with this now, all that's doing is letting me know he knew what it was. He was just waiting for Meech to get out of line.
Hey, man. Appreciate you for rocking with us, man. It's your boy, Meech El Guapo. Street Certified News. The most reputable source for urban media. Sometimes we got to tell these types of stories. A lot of people disagree with us. But again, like I said, man, we do our due diligence. We don't go looking for this type of stuff. These types of stories and this type of paperwork really come straight to us. People will send it to us, or people will, tag us and stuff and say, hey, man, what's up with this? And this is just another one of them situations where a person who people looked at as an underground hero, when you really look into his paperwork and when you really look into how did he get out of jail, on a downward departure, they knocked 10 years off of a 30-year sentence. Like, how exactly was it done? When we do our research, this is what we come up with. So if anybody got anything that refutes what we saying or is proof of what we saying is wrong, hey, let us know, man. Drop it in the comments. You know what I'm saying? We appreciate y'all for rocking with us, man. Again, it's your boy, Meech El Guapo, man. Street Certified News. We love you. We out.